It's Ouellette with a couple points. Harnack now with her first basket. And Great Britain go off the rim. McLaughlin attempting to get the rebound there, and it will come off of her hand and out of play. So 4 points already, as we say, for the captain. As we look at the British side, the scoring so far, Freeman with a couple points and Conroy as well. It's a timeout for both sides to take a little bit of a pause. And that's always one of the challenges coming in that first match of a major competition like this, the Paralympic Games. Generally, you see the teams just kind of sounding themselves out and trying to find a measure, being a little bit cautious, but both of these teams just as happy to up the pace and take their chances when they come. And this is the Canadian coach, Bill Johnson from Winnipeg. He's been involved with this program since 2009 as the head coach, assistant coach for 3 seasons prior. As you mentioned, his brother Joey Johnson, a star of the Canadian men's national team as well. Up there, and you see the shot leading up, and you see a lot of that. You see that in a lot of sport equally. It's a family affair, a lot of crossover and participation, and they will no doubt be keeping an eye on each other's performances as the camaraderie and now the spirit is alive and well in the first day of competition. It's in. Great Britain are given the outside at the moment to have a look to see if they want to take a shot, but Canada give too much of a lane and entry there. This the offload and just a little bit of the sky hook over the top, but it can't fall for Great Britain. And the speed coming away again. Ouellette. And the Canadians looking more comfortable into McLaughlin. She goes right off the glass and in. Those her 4 points, or her first rather, and they're now 4 points in the lead. Great Britain have seen some daylight right through, finding the right angle towards the basket and the left hand. It's up and in for Ellen Freeman, the 26-year-old. So back again. Within 2 points. So 3 from 7 so far in their shooting range, and there from the outside. Canada starting to find their mark, and McLaughlin, the tower of power, showing the touch of a surgeon there as she finds her second basket of the game. Freeman, as we say, it's just the shooting percentage at the moment for Great Britain. It's okay, and there's another one. They're at 50% now. That's 4 from 8, and giving them the total of 8 points. No free throws as yet for either side, and equally no 3-point attempts as yet either. Just stepping into a lane. There was some room. The rebound, what a glorious push in there from the Canadian number 8. That was Rosalie Lalonde. 19 years of age, and she takes her first shot of these Paralympic Games. Looking for a substitution. But they're just going to hold for a moment. They'll allow this play to continue, but no, they'll allow it in. And Great Britain brought in Jordana Bartlett. She's 21, a 3.0 classification. And a cheer now sounding around this fabulous venue in Rio's Olympic Park. The offload and given. Little wrap up there. And down is McLaughlin. And you see the work they do to get themselves upright again. Whether or not they'll need to come out and just sort of dry the floor up there a little bit. It looks okay. But that's all a part of it. And these athletes are just as happy to make sure they look after their own business. They're very self-sufficient, as you might expect. Here they come, though. This is Great Britain in control. The safe possession of Helen Freeman. The pass, the offload up, and that almost falling. This one, the rebound, and sensational work there just to see that followed through by Amy Conroy. She's 23. And now, with that 4-point margin for Canada, it's evaporated. And we're level at 10. And it's just coming up to 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Canada off the rim. You can hear just the rigidity of that rim. It was seen really in the Olympic Games as being quite flexible. At this, it's a little bit more taut now, and you can see the way the ball is bouncing off of it and hear it equally. And the players need to allow for that as well. So Freeman for Great Britain now with 6 points. Conroy with 4, and 2 points to Carrigill. The Canadians, the shot there, McLaughlin, she's starting to find her range. And she has now leading this side with 6 points. She's 3 from 4 with her field goal percentage as yet. Ouellette with 4 points, Harnock with 2, and that a long pass. It'll just get away from the intended recipient, Conroy again. So Miles Thompson, the British coach, he the American, as he said, involved with the American program previously, and a coach in the States for his club basketball. And he's got the women's national program, the under 25, under his remit now in Great Britain. And for Conroy, she will hold up just inside his 3-point line inside this last minutes, and these are just moments of trying to stake advantage at the end of the first quarter. They'll want to get a basket from the reference. That's a great play, maybe not in a perfect position. 3 defenders there, and again Great Britain come up with it. But there you see Janet McLaughlin high and up and over. The feed one more time. Look at this from Canada. The pass almost seemed to be a little short. The shot may be a little bit hard, but Cindy Ouellette, she would know better, and she finds the bottom of the basket once again. Canada in the lead. Can Great Britain just throw up a little bit of a buzzer beater here? They'll need to be on point. Almost, it looks. It'll come short. This will be too far in which to really get a shot there, and it will just come underneath its range. But the Canadians, who fell down by 4 points in the opening quarter, will in fact sit with a 2-point lead at the end of 10 minutes of play. It is Canada 14, Great Britain 12 points. And this, the wheelchair basketball competition, the women's division, and this is Pool A in the preliminary round. The first day in Rio. And you see some of the great scenes as well of the dancing, entertainment too. So this, a beautiful venue right in the heart of the Olympic Park. Canada 14, Great Britain 12 at the end of the first quarter. So this is a look at the shooting so far. Great Britain operating at 40%. The Canadians just a shade under. And the defensive rebounds, with the 9 of them, Great Britain, that's a good stat. 3 offensive rebounds as well. So showing that they are equally following up with their due diligence in and around underneath the basket. They're the signature colors. So many beautiful colors in this part of the world as these shots of the opening quarter. And there, the long range shot, and really is impressive just how well and how accurate the athletes are. This is entirely the same court and dimensions as played in basketball. And these teams putting on a show. Start of the second quarter. It's the Canadians with a 2-point advantage. And up in the first defensive rebound for Canada. And a little bit of a new look in their lineup in this second quarter. Erin Young now with the ball. She's the 20-year-old, but this to Ouellette, the co-captain. And Ouellette has got a hot hand right now. She has just found the bottom of the basket once again, and she is as comfortable from range, that sort of 10 to 15 feet, 10, 12 feet really from the basket, just to stop and pop. And she scoring again. This the offload right at the top at that free throw line. Take it there. It's as good a shot as you're maybe going to have. It's often the case, isn't it? Preparing for what you anticipate to be a better shot, a better look, and making those decisions that you must take what's available when it's there. Canada with another good defensive rebound, and they seem to really be finding a measure, and they're going to count that as a traveling. So 2 pushes on the wheel before either bouncing or making a pass, and that will lead to the change of possession and the turnover. And now Great Britain right under Canada's basket. The feed centrally. Conroy has been good in front. She does it again for GB. And she now, with the 3 from 5, is got these 6 points for her own individual stats in this one. Brought it back, as you see, within 2. Ouellette again. You would not doubt, and Conroy now given responsibility to try and mark her, but if she's going to give a chance, she might very well go with it. Good control from Conroy with that right hand to make sure she didn't double touch and change the ball into her opposite hand and then equally touch the wheels again. So that's always in consideration, needing to be able to play the ball with both hands and equally propel themselves with their hand on the wheel of their wheelchair. It's just tremendous consideration all the time, but it becomes natural when you do it as often as these ladies. There you see almost a incidental contact, but you'll see as well, and they do fall rather aggressively equally, but that's part of their using their natural momentum to try to get upright as well. That is the athletic nature that is these athletes, but there's substitutions for Canada as they'll put some new energy out onto the floor. Ouellette will take receipt of the inbound. She elects just to let it fall onto her hands before starting the shot clock. And she now, great protector of the ball. McLaughlin high out at the top of the key. She's not being allowed to get into the key area by Conroy. So a part of the tactics, McLaughlin, who has a height and size advantage over all of the athletes on the floor in this matchup, being kept at bay. GB across the line, the feed in, and the fallen Canadian down. And for the first look of action, it's Tamara Stevens who will come in. Keeping a cool head so far is Bill Johnson. At this, Tamara Stevens, 26 years of age, and she's a 1.5 is her level, or her classification rather. So if you're just tuning in to Paralympic sport in general, each athlete do have an individual customized rating or classification for their level of function, and that's how they cumulatively compile the overall 14 points that are allowed on the floor at any one time between the 5 players. This will be broken up though by Great Britain. They will receive it, and it's another steal and a chance for them to reassert themselves in the lead. They had it early in the first quarter, gave it up ultimately in the latter stages of it, but this a chance for Ouellette to take it the other way. And it's a 2-on-1. She gets bumped though from behind. And they will allow that to be continuous play. The whistle came early. And it looks as though the officials will have waved that one on, not allow it to be a continuous play and allow the shot. But it's quite easy for the referees, once the wheels, either the front or the back, leave the floor, they know then that the contact that has been made, there's a level of incidental contact allowed, but if you're bumping each other to that degree, that is in fact a foul. But this is a fast break for Great Britain, and Freeman will take the 3 points and roll it around the rim. Great Britain with the lead again. So 8 points in total, 4 from 7 is Freeman, co-captain for GB. And McLaughlin needs to have a little rethink as to how she would like to attack this opportunity for the Canucks. That will go off on the back of the rim and up off the glass. And Great Britain, who have been rebounding so well in this matchup, take another little bit of control off the missed shot from the Canadians. There you see 16-11. GB with the advantage, and those are important stats over the course of the 40 minutes of action. So the inbound now for Canada. And it's going to be a timeout here, and a utilization of a 30-second window. Those are generally our momentum shifts. Canada with the lead coming into the quarter have now given that back up, and hence the opportunity for Bill Johnson is to utilize his first timeout of the match and have a little bit of a rethink and a little bit of a moment of collective thought for Canada. So you hear that there. He says our first pass can't be 3 feet off the baseline, fundamentals. So basically saying they need to create further distance from wherever the ball is coming in from the sidelines in and onto the court, onto the field of play, in order to set up the next movement that they're trying to generate. As it makes it easy to defend if your first pass is only 3 feet from the baseline. Player ends up getting forced back out of bounds and giving up possession. And equally, you don't have an angle in which to make the next pass. And so that's the thoughts there coming in from Johnson, just talking about the fundamentals and the basics that need to be executed at a high level all the time. The play to the inside, the feed was good. It looked as though it was touched, maybe the hand on the way up, or not getting full control of it there was Tamara Steeves. And Great Britain, under the leadership of this lady right here, Helen Freeman, has really spearheaded this GB attack. Her and Conroy, who has the ball now. They have really been double teaming that basket so far. But that was contact between the chairs prior to the shot. And you see the indication from our referee today, Celine Villard. And our umpires, Maurizio Zamponi and Juan Magallanes, the two in support as well. But to the inside, this is Freeman, that left-handed delivery, she's not able to make it. And a couple fouls we see, but the quick hands from Great Britain, able just to knock that away. So you've got to be quick here. You heard the referee just talking about 5 seconds in which to inbound it. And then equally needing to get it up over the center line as well. And then the shot clock is fully rolling. There are the seconds. They will reset the clock though with that attempt. So it doesn't need to hit the rim. That one did, but doesn't have to. It just needs to leave your hand with the attempt for a shot for the resetting of the shot clock. So Hammer is in, Judith Hammer, a 4.0 and 25-year-old now to offer some strength and some new energy to Great Britain's lineup. From here, they're going to want to just maintain this lead and love to take it into the half-time interval. Conroy is out. She has been dangerous so far, Conroy. 8 points. She and Freeman are the joint leaders in scoring for Great Britain. And it's Ouellette with 8, and McLaughlin with 6 that lead the Canadians. Now coming in, Melanie Houghton, number 15, with her first bit of action. The left hand of Freeman, even from the right side, is just as comfortable. She finds the range once again. Quite measured here. They're looking to take away McLaughlin and Ouellette, and they're going to leave that shot there. And they were believing that Harnock maybe wasn't as confident as McLaughlin or Ouellette might have been, and they gave her all of that room. And you see it just went off the front of the rim and beyond. So the tactical game going on now from GB, trying to take away the strengths from this Canadian lineup. As it's McLaughlin up to Ouellette. Well, there's a sweet touch from the tall lady for Canada. And she just feathers that one over the front of the rim and cuts it back within 2. Just a little bit of a rough ride coming into that, the heart of that Canadian defense, the teeth of it. And McLaughlin likes the long pass. It's a big baseball-like throw up to Ouellette. And these two are on the mark again. That fast break opportunity has leveled this one at 20. And you hear the excitement coming from the Canadian support and faithful here. That is a dangerous play in which to try and keep tabs on. And so effective, too, with that long pass. McLaughlin, she's like the Hightower of this sport, and she uses that height and length to really periscope up and over all of the field of play and find the opening down to Ouellette. So being aggressive offensively and use their speed. They talk about some of the visual cues that they have seen prior to the match and the things they need to do well. Nothing like learning from seeing others or equally yourselves when you've been playing at your best as a positive affirmation of what you need to do when you get back out onto the stage that is this opening match in the women's wheelchair basketball from Rio, the Paralympic Games. This, again, just where the Brits would like to have the basketball, but that's a challenge shot from that range there for Helen Freeman. It'll just go off the rim. And Canada with a little bit of the momentum now been generated, coming back from being down 4 points to level it. That long strike breakaway taken from Ouellette on the long feed from her teammate McLaughlin. And this McLaughlin doesn't have a lot of trajectory in that shot, though. McLaughlin, she's happy to put it forward. She's happy and believing in the accuracy. Great Britain will strike again in the transition. And up to Laurie Williams. And Williams with her first basket of the match. So this a 2-on-1. Is it going to be a feed? There is the perfect position of McLaughlin and a foul on the play too. So she has the first opportunity for a 3-point play. And she's going to go to the line here now. And the British coaches now having a chat about it. And that is Miles Thompson and Daniel Price. Price there was the one just getting involved to encourage that offensive attacking style. And Canada will now nose ahead with just the 1 point as a result of that free throw drop by McLaughlin. Freeman has taken this one all the way up the floor. She has run in, and they're going to count that one as an offensive foul. So again, the indication of that was the way the back of her chair came up as she collided into the Canadian. the suggestion that she wasn't in full control and that the Canadian player had already established position. And the chair coming up suggests that it was, in fact, maybe Freeman who needed to control herself better in that instance, and that led to the change of possession here now. Into the key. You see the majority of the shot taking coming from that lady now, McLaughlin. She will continue, and she's now taken the scoring leading for Canada. And that is Janet McLaughlin, 39 years of age, and she is one of these high levels of function. She's a 4.5, and now 13 points for Canada. So over half of the offense, but then Freeman. She has that real soft left-hand touch. She keeps this, and it's a turnover. Conroy back out there too. The offload here. Great Britain more aggressive as per their instructions from their coach. They're going to hold up though and just spin and look for another option. Conroy with great control, switching her hands and into her teammate once more. This for Freeman. Freeman has set Freeman from the outside, and her line was great. Her depth, however, wasn't quite enough. And McLaughlin is happy to offload it. The 1-2 feed, is it going to be kept in? That's going to really be impressive. It's going to just get beyond the grasp of Canada. And chasing down a ball, and your wheels are almost in the lead too. So as soon as you do get there, you've got to be so precise with the front of your chair particularly in getting down and retrieving it, picking it up into control. So this is the last possession of the half. Or is it going to be now? Can Canada strike quickly here? They're really going to make hay now. And they've got to work quick, but it isn't back time. It's just evaporated, and it's going to be Canada who have been able to come back from being down at 4 points and nose to head by the 1. And that really, in essence, is the free throw shot taken by McLaughlin there, number 5. That is the 1 point differential. 14 points to 12 in the first quarter and 12 points to 11 in the second quarter. But it's Canada at halftime with the 25-24 lead over Great Britain. So there you see it, confirmation of the score. Group A action, Great Britain 24, Canada 25. As we prepare to move into the third quarter of the women's wheelchair basketball coming up. There we look at a couple attempts each, one from the 3-point line. The free throws, just the one for Canada. They make full complement of it. The defensive rebound starting to measure out more equally, and so the field goal shooting percentage for both of these sides. It looks as though it's going to go deep, this one, right to the wire, and it should really, as you look at where they finished 4 years ago in the Paralympics in London, 6th and 7th place respectively. This is a battle in their right weight class, shall we say, is the best description. And the Rio faithful getting energized on day one. This is a Group A preliminary match and the first match of the wheelchair basketball overall and in the women's. Freeman with 12 points in that first half, as good defensively as she was offensively. And McLaughlin taking care of the offense equally for the Canadians. She with 13 points and Ouellette with 10. Conroy, she's really the second weapon with 8 points on Great Britain's side. And it's going to really be about trying to get more of the game distributed offensively. Just the 4 scorers for GB in the opening half of play. And the Canadians, not much of a difference either. They just have the 3 different scores so far. So of 12 players on each team, you really are leaning heavily on your players that are going to carry the offensive load for you. And at the moment, it's McLaughlin just with the sides nudge ahead by 1. She with 17 minutes and 51 seconds played in the opening half of play. Ouellette with the full 20 minutes played for Canada. And it's Freeman, she equally with the full 20 minutes played in that opening half, and Conroy, her number 2, with 18:07 of the 20 total minutes played. So ready to start the second half of play. The Canadians with the 1-point lead, and to inbound from the sideline. The opening bit of control is their number 7 again, Cindy Ouellette, 27 years of age, just makes a good spin, trying to get away from the defense into the soft touch of McLaughlin. And she'll increase this Canadian margin now by 3 points. Just there from Conroy. She can't find the returned answer from Great Britain. But they'll apply a little bit more pressure in the backcourt now, trying to force Canada to have to work a little bit harder to advance this ball. Ouellette is given some daylight here. From this range, she'll shoot. And again, she's used all of the rim and found a way in which to drop it again for another Canadian bucket. So in the opening minute already, this forcing the need to call a timeout, Great Britain, as they have just given up the 4 points quickly and can ill afford now in the business half of this match to let the scoreline start to slip away from them. It's already 5 points. You see the free scoring so far. It is Helen Freeman with the 12 points, Conroy 8, and Williams 2. McLaughlin leading the way for Canada. And they really, it's ultimately going to come down to a little bit of that secondary scoring, you sense. It puts a lot of pressure on the top 2 scorers, really, to carry the load, but equally they're capable of it. This for Conroy. Oh, she'll find it right at the bottom of the mesh there. No touch, it's a perfect swish. And this, a timeout strategically called by Great Britain, and they respond well to come out and equally get that first bucket. Just waiting and winding. This will be that free hand of their third shooting option for